You ever get to that point where people start acting real weird around you, and you haven't even done anything? That's when it starts clicking. You kept your head down, worked on your stuff, stopped entertaining nonsense. And all of a sudden, it's like your silence became a megaphone. People who used to ignore, you start watching everything you do. Not because they care, but because they're confused. They can't figure out what changed. That's the thing. They only respect quiet confidence when it comes with a title or a badge. But when it's just you walking different, handling your business, not explaining every move, it scares the hell out of them. At first, you'll want to explain yourself. You'll feel that itch to make sure no one gets the wrong idea. You'll want to call, text, fix misunderstandings, clear the air. Don't. That urge. It's not about truth, it's about approval. It's about wanting to be understood by people who were never listening in the first place. Let them talk. Let them misunderstand. People who are committed to misunderstanding you will twist anything you say anyway. The second you stop trying to be seen clearly is the second you start seeing them clearly. That's when it gets lonely, but also real peaceful. There's a certain type of person who only felt strong when you were uncertain. The ones who laughed too hard at your small mistakes, went quiet when you had a win, and asked loaded questions pretending to care. Once you stop second, guessing yourself, they lose their grip. They don't know how to talk to you anymore. Suddenly you're acting different, or too quiet, or cold. But it's not that you're cold. It's that you stopped handing out access like candy. You stopped rewarding bad behavior with explanations. Let them sit in that silence they created. They made it uncomfortable, not you. Here's the ugly part when you level up quietly. People take it personal. Doesn't matter if you never said a word. They start projecting. One minute you're minding your business. Next minute, someone's throwing slick comments, making shady posts, or giving weird energy in the group chat. That's not your cue to react. That's your cue to realize you're becoming a mirror. You're holding up everything they don't want to face. And no matter how chill you are, they'll paint you as arrogant. Let them. That reaction says more than anything you could ever post or explain. You'll learn quick. People don't actually want you to grow. They want you to heal, just enough to be convenient again. As long as you're the old version they got used to, it's cool. But once you start choosing peace over people, pleasing, once your time gets more expensive and your responses get slower, that's when the real opinions surface. And that's when you realize how many relationships were never built on mutual respect. Just comfort and control. It's not bitter. It's just true. Watch how they treat you when you stop being accessible. Now don't get it twisted. The silence isn't revenge. It's not about being mysterious or playing some game. It's about not feeding dysfunction. Every time you reply to nonsense, you give it power. Every time you explain yourself to someone who doesn't even respect you, You shrink a little. Let them assume. Let them spin their stories. Eventually, they'll tire themselves out. It's hard to gossip about someone who gives you nothing to work with. They'll either fall off or switch up. Either way, you win by staying still. What messes people up is they expect a show. They want fireworks, confrontations, screaming matches. But when all they get is calm boundaries and no access, it hits different. That quiet hits harder than any clapback. And that's when weird stuff happens. People you haven't seen in years start reaching out. Folks who look down on you now want to check in. They don't even know why. Something about your energy shifted, and they feel it. That's the part no one tells you about self-respect. It's loud without saying a word. But here's the kicker. Don't do it for the recognition. If you're still checking who's watching, who's clapping, who's mentioning your name, you're not free yet. This isn't about proving anyone wrong. It's about finally getting right with yourself. Let the old stories die. Let the old version of you be misunderstood. The people who matter won't need a backstory. And the ones who need convincing were never really for you. Every time you stop trying to fix how others see you, you fix a piece of yourself. Sometimes, the most gangster thing you can do is stay quiet when everything in you wants to react. Let people throw shade, talk wild, twist things. Keep showing up the same. Keep doing what you said you'd do. Keep moving like they don't exist. That's not being fake. That's being solid. You're not cold. You're just done explaining yourself to people who were committed to missing the point. They didn't listen when you were crying. Don't give them access now that you're glowing. Let time and silence finish the story. By the time they realize you weren't who they said you were, it's too late. You're already on the next chapter. And sure, you'll feel that pull to make one last statement, one final. Look at me now. Don't. Let it be what it is. Let that old circle sit with their confusion. Let the past versions of you stay buried. You don't need a mic drop when your life speaks louder than any speech. And when someone way out your league, someone who doesn't even know your name, stops and takes notice, that's not luck. That's the echo of every boundary you built finally making noise. There's a shift that happens when you stop moving from emotion and start moving from clarity. You stop reacting to every little jab, every offhand comment, every fake check, and that's really just a probe. People don't know how to handle that. They're used to the version of you that flinched, that defended, that over-explained. Now they get stoned. Now they get silence. And in that silence, their own behavior gets loud. They start questioning themselves. They start spiraling because the chaos they relied on you to carry isn't getting picked up anymore. You didn't change the game. They just never knew you could play it like this. Most folks won't admit it, but they thrived when you were doubting yourself, when you needed their opinion, when you were always second, guessing. It gave them leverage. They liked the version